feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hi everyone, welcome. If you are new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my patrons and subscribers, welcome my little astronauts. I'm so happy to have you. This is being live streamed on July 21st, 2021 at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you guys are interested in checking the, I just started. If you guys are interested in booking a review with me, check the description below. I have everything listed there for you. Now, if you're watching this video, you just want to go to a certain part of the video, check the description. I will also have a timestamp listed below as well. In case there is timestamp, but it's not timestamp, that means that it's just all one reading. Anyway, here are some quick disclaimers as well. You see on your screen right now. And if you are somebody who wants to know about the moon wobbling and what that means, I will go through it right now. But particularly before you do this, I want to quickly make a quick announcement that on my channel, I will be doing some classes soon. I am currently in the works and I should be done and should be able to have it released. Also, if you are interested in being a student, I will be offering how to read intuitively class, which you as the student will be able to decide when you think it's the best time for you to graduate and move on to the next class. I don't tell you when it's ready for you, but you decide that yourself. Another class that I'll also be talking about is how to manifest. So if you would like to learn how to manifest, I'll be teaching that as well. Another thing that I'll be offering is a spiritual life coach, where you guys can come to me and, I'll be able to try to help you as much as I can. But this will be a group session. I would also provide a one-on-one session as well, but that will be a lot more money than just the group version. If you also are interested in doing some crafts, I will also be offering a DIY tarot card class on how to make your own tarot card. And it's kind of more like a calm way of being in peace and be able to create your own cards. So a DIY isn't going to be something that you make on like a computer. It's something that you draw and just kind of, just go have fun with it. You don't need to be a good drawer. As long as whatever works for you works, right? So we'll be doing that as well. So if you are interested and you like those ideas, put in the comment section below what you guys do think. If you have any other suggestions for any other classes, I will probably do one where overcoming childhood trauma as well as one. But that's a major one. In order to extend to the fifth dimension or the fifth dimension consciousness, you need to be able to overcome your challenges when it comes to past trauma or childhood trauma in that fact, in that regard. So we'll be talking about that as well. Hi, Julie. Welcome, everybody. I'm so happy to have you. So I'm going to talk about this today. So coastal flooding plus rising sea levels is what we're going to be talking about today. Okay. Thank you, Julie. I really do appreciate it. So let's talk. So scientists have estimated they put the 70-year mark for when they predict rising sea level and climate change will do damage, right, in the next 70 years. However, they have to push it so much so because of the new moon's orbit into 2030 to 2050. So right now, the 70 years mark that was previously expected had now moved into our decade, right? Hi, Saxcam. Another thing that you might want to also note as well, if you don't know what wobbling means, it's a light positive word than the ominous word that they initially use. Wobble means that the moon's orbit around Earth will change shape. It's quite common actually, and it happens every 18.6 years. However, with the sea levels rising and the moon's strength with nature, that could spell issues in the coming decade. And by that means that the moon has a very strong pull on water, and therefore that we could talking about rising sea level, we're pulling tide and then start to sink into the ocean. We have here the tides are known as king tides, right? Maybe some of you guys who live in Florida, you might know what king tides are. That happens during a full or new moon. It happens 6 times a year. However, with the moon wobbling going into the next decade, it can happen as fast or as frequent as 16 times a year or more going to 2030, which basically means that you could be experiencing 2 king what's it called? King tides twice every month. That's a lot. And king tides, you don't know what they are, the rise in sea level. That it's almost like a hurricane or a storm that comes crashing on coastal cities. So I remember when I was doing this video that I talked about many times a lot. Yes, I did say king tide. Yep, I did say that. Many times on my channel before when I discussed nature, I talked about rising sea levels, and I gave you what I saw in my third eye, what the United States will look like. So we're gonna go back to that video, and if you are interested in rewatching that video, I highly recommend it. I will put that in the description below as well, if you are interested. And I'll just show you a little clip of it as well. Hi, Antonia. Thank you. I love you. Welcome. I know you are new here. So let me put me on the screen right now, and you guys can go check this out. I'm just going to change the audio so you can hear a little bit clearer. Okay. In case you didn't know, this one is called Season 3, Episode 41, Solar Storm, Polar Reversal, Dust Bowls, and more. You can find everything on that video description where you can find different timestamps. Topic. Let's talk about rising sea level. And I do have a picture here on my phone that I made. I'm gonna go get my phone right now. I'll give you a moment, okay? Just take the information I gave you. If you have questions, let me know. So my nose is a little clogged from everything, but don't worry, do not worry. I made a map of what my third eye was showing me, and I want to show you guys so you can kind of see what I saw in my third eye. So this is the continental United States, as you can clearly see, right? Well, this is what I saw in my third eye in terms of the rise in sea level, right? All that blue is underwater. Right? And a lot of people are like, well, Chris, you're just trying to scare us. If I'm trying to scare you, why would I put my own home area, which is New York, right, in water? I don't have intention of scaring you. But what I do have intention is showing you what the Earth is going to look like, or at least the continental United States is going to look like in the future. Okay? And yes, for the answer to people who are wondering about the Great Lakes, yes, the Great Lakes will indeed expand. The lakes will be more expanded as more water is rising. Okay, so let's talk about rising sea levels, right? There's been reports coming out lately that glaciers are rising at a higher level than ever before, and because of it, it's melting at a faster rate than they previously thought, and it's done that by every year, which means that the seawater will rise by 360 feet by 2080, which probably might make the image of what I saw. But to tell you what happened under my lifetime. I don't know about yours. That is entirely up to you, whether or not you see that for yourself, so do not worry. But this is why this is extremely important. Now, please keep in mind, people are like, well, why is this happening? Let me explain to you. We got to have an ice age. Why wouldn't it be happening? What is an ice age? An ice age is when a large covering of ice covers the top, the northern hemisphere of the Earth. Well, since then we've been warming, right? Well, it makes sense why we go through global warming, because the Earth is warming faster than it did in the ice age. But we also will witness in our lifetime, or within our children's lifetime, our great grandkids will witness the ice age as well. The reason for that is that we're going to speed up the process so much as humans that we speed up the what's it called, global warming, that it becomes ice age right after that. Hello, Homestead. What's up, love? What else do we need to know? Hi, Princess. Hi, Rhonda. What do we need to know about this rising sea levels? What do we need to know about rising sea levels? Okay. Okay. We'll take that because it's kind of cool. All right, so Spirits and Angels, tell me what else do we need to know about rising sea levels? What do we need to know about rising sea levels? What do we need to know about rising sea level? Okay, thank you. It's just said, okay. All right, let's talk. So we have the temperance, right? The balance is the earth. Right now the earth is unbalanced, right? This will make a lot of sense because we're in 3D. 3D is normally not a very balanced out number. It's a 3, it's not a 4. It's not something that can be divided equally into. Right? That's the challenge here, the temperance, the balance. Right? We have here is that we will have no choice. This will end up happening. This is something that's coming soon. Right? We have here there won't be any sort of money that's gonna stop it. No dam, no nothing is gonna stop it. The only thing is just when things go underwater, it's gonna stay permanently underwater. Right? We have here as well as we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. And what these are kind of talking about here is that no matter how spiritual you are, no matter where you go in life, it's just no matter what, you do not need to be worried. Trust your intuition, let that guide you. But it says that there's nothing that we can do in terms of our compassion or manifestation. It's already set in stone. It's something that's going to happen eventually. Right? We have here is that, look, there's many brand new different species that's going to come about when this does occur. There's going to be multiple different species, brand new viruses, brand new things that's going to come about that we didn't know that existed. We're even going to uncover our own history, the creation of other humans. We're going to find path of what really happened to those people who went missing. We're going to find a lot of different things. And we're also, believe it or not, we're also going to find brand new species that were frozen in ice, so much so that when they become defrosted, they actually become alive again, which means that they will now roam our seas once again. Right? And we also have here the kind of look like a glacier, but it's not at the castle, but in this case, I'll view that as the glacier. We have here as well, we have hype, publicity, media, advertising, market, promote, right? The market is going to try to promote things that, oh, well, if you buy this, you can save yourself from rising sea levels. If you buy a bag of sand, that's really going to stop 5 feet of water from going into your home. The media is going to take advantage of it, and I think you can really see that now in your community. You can take a look at Coca-Cola. They are now trying to put their cans on the color of green. The reason for that is that they're trying to get the image that they are helping the universe or the earth by just covering their Coke can in color green. That's not necessarily good. That's capitalism. We have here float, swim, surface, parade, fuller, and rupia. And it's telling me here that the way that we go about this in terms of our future is that the best way to combat rising sea level is to make homes almost on boats, basically. Make people live on boats or universes, kind of like that. So when the sea level rises, the people home rises with it, which means there is no threat of their home being underwater. Right? And we have here brief. Short case, advised, concise boxes. I talked about this. It's going to be a very short, brief time period. So when this, rise in sea level occurs, which is due to global warming, it's going to be very long, but it's also going to be very brief, which means it's not going to happen as long as they normally do, right? We're going to easily go right into global warming. It might take a few thousand years, and then we go straight into ice age, right? Hi, Alma. What's up, love? So that is what I'm getting for rising sea level. Now let's take a look at global warming. Well, I think we already answered that question. So let's talk about the next ice age. What's this actually? So if you guys are interested in watching that video, I'll put that in the description below. Yeah, so if you guys are interested in checking out that video, I'll put that in the description below if you want to rewatch that video and sometime after this video ends, of course. Anyway, so let's jump in. I want to talk about everything today. If you have questions, please put them in the live chat, and I'll be more than happy to help you as much as we can. Quickly, before we do start, we're going to do a little protective prayer so that we feel better about the outcome and that we know that we, as a collective, are protected. Okay. Casey saw the map, that map of the U.S., not Tesla. I finally remembered I had to find a trigger to remember the info. Let's just sim pick for an alien. I just realized that. Cancel, not casting. I don't know what cancel is. You mean this? Okay, case D. Darn spell. Okay, she's talking about the sleeping prophet, in case you didn't know. Can someone please explain to me what the water world is? Because I have no idea what that is. So definitely explain what that is. While we're waiting, I am going to quickly grab some decks. We're going to use the Moonology. But before we do that, we are going to do a protective prayer for you guys. Okay. So, Spirit Angel, please tell me. Oh, God, sorry. All right. Okay, let's see. I want you guys to close your eyes and just listen to my voice and surround yourself with white light protection, okay? I call upon my higher self, my spirit guys. Arsenal Michael, Arsenal Gable, Arsenal Raphael, Arsenal Uriel, Arsenal Ariel, Arsenal Ariel, Arsenal Uriel, Arsenal Daniel, Arsenal Dacriel, Arsenal Metatron, Angel of Death, Angel of Love, Angel of Wisdom, Angel of Knowledge, Archangel Josephiel, and Archangel Samuel. I call upon you guys today to surround me and my viewers with white light protection, divine love, and accuracy. Thank you for everything you have done. Thank you for everything you will be doing for me and them in the future. I love everything you have done, everything you will be doing. Please allow me to be able to access the Akashic Records for clear and concise information I is needed about today's reading, which is about the moon wobbling and its orbit changing, end up in resulting of changing tides. Thank you, and please allow us to be safe and protected from all negative entities and energies. I love you and namaste. Whenever you are ready, you can feel free to open up. Okay, so please keep in mind that this video is just for entertainment purposes only, and thank you, Julie, for giving me the name for the sleeping prophet. It's Edgar Casey. All right, so let's jump into all this. Let's begin. Where's the moon? Okay, so the first thing that we're going to take a look at today is we're going to use the moonology. I think it's very important that we talk about the moon since we're talking about is the moon wobbling. Now, if you have not already, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to comment what you think of today's video or any other added on suggestions as well. And please don't forget to hit that notification bell so when you are alerted when I go live next or whatever other thing that you would like to know about. Okay. All right, so Spirit Angel, please tell me, what do we need to know about the moon wobbling? Yeah, okay, so it's definitely about the moon. It's definitely the cycles here. So before we do this, I want to explain what this means in terms of the moon wobbling. So in case you have not or you don't know what it is, let me hope that it doesn't cause a fire here. Can you guys see this? You can. What is going on? Okay, perfect. Perfect. Now you can actually see the screen. So I'm going to draw the moon quickly. It's not going to be a very highly detailed moon. I'll just tell you that off the bat. I'm not like an artist. But okay, so here's the moon, right? No, actually, this is Earth, right? This is planet Earth, right? And here's the moon on this little teeny orbit. That's the moon. Oh, you can't even see that. Let me just make this really blue. You see that now? Yep, you can see it. Okay, so that's the moon, right? And it's going in a circle, right? But like almost like an oval, right? That's how it normally goes. Actually, now I realize you can't even see this. Let me do this again. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to try to make sure you can see it. All right, so let me do the Earth again. So this is Earth, right? This is planet Earth. This is where we live, in case you forgot. Right? And here is our moon, right, on its orbit. That's the moon, right? The blue is the moon, right? The red is its orbit, or where it's heading, right? That's the moon. Now, it takes about every 18.6 years, it goes around an orbit, right? It wobbles. It's typical. It changes orbit every 18.6 years. However, with the moon changing its current orbit into something that looks kind of like this, and it happens every 18.6 years. So if you were just coming in now, in the beginning, I kind of give you a little bit more detail on what this means. If, let's say, for example, the moon used to go this way and it changes into this way, it had drastic changes in terms of its pattern and its pull on water. Now, a lot of you guys may have known from tarot, we consider the moon a part of a water. It's about emotion, right? So if you have not noticed already that your emotions are starting to become more heightened, you're starting to become more empathic, right? Well, the same thing, when the moon is starting to get closer to us, right? Around the time we're closest to Earth, it has a stronger effect on pull. That normally happens with full moons and new moons, right? That's normally when it happens, in case you did not know that. So let's take a nice look now that you have a little added extra information on orbits and what the wobbling means. It's just the change in orbit. Okay. Okay, now that you know that, let's take a look at the cards. Okay, so we have here is it's a time to give rather than take, right? The new moon in Virgo. We have here balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces, right? Okay, the next one we have here is you're very close to achieving your goal. Gibbous moon, almost completed full moon, right? Then we have here your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. Well, if you're looking at this, what is one thing that all these moons have in common, right? Well, two of them happen to be new. One is full and one is the gibbous. What it's telling me here is that in the past, they had a new moon, a new cycle, right? This was in the 90s, right? They had a cycle. Going into early 2000, around 2008, we have here the balance of spiritual practicality. People started to become a little bit more spiritual. They're starting to understand different things, right? This is where water starts to become a major issue. Global change, climate change started to become more of an issue. As we get into the mid-years of the 20th decade, you will start to see here you're very close to achieving a goal. If you look at the moon, we're almost at a full, complete circle, right? We're almost completed, right? We're almost just there, teeny bit. And that means that the moon is almost done completing its cycle, the 18.6 cycle, which means that we go into that new orbit, right? And the new one, and by that time, we will have a new moon, a new cycle, right? Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn, a new cycle that will begin, right? A new cycle for Earth and the way things go. At the bottom of the deck here is we have a win-win outcome is forecasted. Full moon in Libra. So we have two full moons, two new moons, and we have a gibbous moon, right? There's going to be some change that occur. This is related to ascension process and consciousness. If you're wondering how does this moon relate to our consciousness, you will start to become more overly emotional as the years and the decades go on because of the moon. And of course, we will start to experience more weather and extreme weather. So let's take a look at the weather now. Let's see what some of you guys are saying, because I know you guys said something. Waterworld movie takes place during a time when the polar ice cap has melted, covering almost all of Earth with water. There's a mutant who has adapted more than any to others to survive. Interesting. Okay, we can take a look at that. Oh yeah, 10,000 people were watching live stream for hours at a shot, talking about how Trump was bringing down cabal, and she was, I don't know what you guys are talking about. So, okay, anyway, sorry, didn't mean to interfere. Let's talk about. We're going to be using Earth magic. The best way to understand how Earth is really going to prevail during this natural disaster is there's nothing better than actually talking to Gaia herself. Yeah. The solar flares, yeah. I talked about that in that video in case you want to watch that. I know a lot of you guys, I think Princess Dinglin, I know you messaged me and you wanted to know about that. I did a video on that in case you want to go back. It's on that video I showed today. The Spirit Angels tell me, how is the moon going to affect Mother Nature? Okay. You have the moon here. How is it going to affect Mother Nature? The moon wobbling. How is it going to affect us? Mm. Um. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I was gonna mention this, but I figured I was gonna mention it later in the video. But I guess this is the time to mention it. Do you guys remember my video when I talked about and spoke about like the tsunami being about 100,000 feet with the big one coming, like the big earthquake in California? Well, let's take a look at what I got in the cards, because we have the full moon by completion, right? We talked about the full moon earlier, that is about the moon wobbling, and it has drastic effect on water. Well, I asked, well, what does this mean? Well, this is the card that came out. Tsunami, wake up call. Right? Well, the moon is almost at a full-blown completion. Right? Yeah, the mega tsunami. If you have not watched that video, go check that video out, okay? I'll probably put it on the screen right now so you can kind of go see it yourself. Let me put it on. Oops, wrong one. You can see this. So go to my, obviously go here, right? And then go down to my video. Let's scroll down. Where is this thing? You could watch this one, which is the first one where I had my dream about tornadoes, and it kept bothering me until I made a natural disaster video, then it went away. Now, I definitely recommend watching this as well with the infrastructure, because it talks about the infrastructure and how that will have major effect in terms of natural disaster causing major effects. We'll also be looking at the earthquake one in here, so if you want to check that video out, along with the California big earthquake with mega quake with psychic detailed, more very specific detailed, along with other solar eclipse. I will also have that in my playlist as well. If you want to watch the playlist and kind of watch back, you will be able to see that. Yeah. It's also not only going to be the tsunami in physical, it's also going to be on a spiritual, a psychically level. It's going to be on a mental. It's going to be a very big wave that comes. So that is what the next couple of days, that's what's going to affect the Earth. And I asked, what kind of effect does this have on Earth? And this was the tsunami. What else do we need to know about this? What other effect would happen in Mother Nature with the moon wobbling? What else do we need to know? Okay, so we have here is that we also need to focus on nurturing Mother Nature. A lot of what's going on right now is because we're not nurturing Mother Nature. We're not being respectful. We're not being very kind to planet Earth. And that is why Mother Nature is trying to get our attention, right? And then I talked about the winter solstice, right? The reflection period, right? We're going to be in this winter solstice. And it's funny because I spoke about in that same video about the ice age and stuff like that. And we have the card here, right? We have the card, winter solstice. We're talking about ice age here. You see all the water, but you see the ice melted. And you can see the reflection. The water's melting, the sea level's rising, right? And therefore, the mega tsunami is not too far away. Because look what's in the back. A full moon, right? A full moon. We have a full moon coming. Completion. Mega tsunami. Nurturing. Right? Then winter solstice. Right? Probably by winter time, we could have a warmer winter this year. We could have a warmer winter. What I actually don't like. I like, weather between 40 degrees to 60 degrees. You know what I mean? But it's interesting. It's interesting, but yet don't be scared, because everything's going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. If we're meant to go through this, we're meant to go through it. There's not much that we can do. We can send love and light, but if it's meant to happen, it's going to happen, regardless of whether we like it or not. Let's take a quick look at the energy going into this. Then I'm going to do some really strong tarot readings on it. So let me know what you guys think about this stuff. I want to know what you guys are talking about in terms of what you're thinking with this natural disaster at play here. So this is the energy deck. I brought this deck a couple of days ago, and I figured that this would be the perfect time to discuss energy. So Spirit Angel, please tell me about the energy with this moon wobble, and how will this affect us as the collective going into the 2030, 2040? Okay. How else would this affect us? Okay, one more. What else do we need to know? Thank you. Okay, well, it gave me 3, so I guess we'll keep that. Yeah, actually, for a long time, I want to quickly say this. A lot of you guys may have remembered I said this on my channel a while back. I said that I always knew the East Coast was going to have a massive tsunami and it's going to be flooded. And so I knew my island was going to go underwater. So that's not something I was surprised about. That is something I intuitively knew and said. I even said that where I lived was going to be submerged fully and we will never be able to see history in its fullest form because it will be disappeared by the water. But I already knew that. I said that in 2019, the same time when I mentioned, actually, that was 2019. Yeah, I said that. Because in 2019 as well, I told my spirit guy, not my spirit guy, I told my study abroad advisor when I was going to Italy, I told her that when I go to Italy, a pandemic will start. But that was supposed to be a joke, but I don't think it's a joke anymore. And that was before I even knew I was psychic. And at the same point, I even told my boss at the time at my job that where I live and the whole East Coast will have experienced a massive tsunami, and a lot of us will be underwater, right? And that's why I'm actually at the earth, and I have the desire to leave where I live now because I want to move out of a country, right? And my ideal place is Italy or Iceland potentially as well. Anyway, besides the point, let's take a look and see what the cards have about our energy and how this moon is going to affect us as an individual. We have here, the main card here is Archangel's area, right? Second chakra, which is all about your sacral, how you feel, right? We're talking about empathic, empathology, right? You feeling as very empathic, very loving, very kind to people. This is the empath. It's the feeling chakra, right? It's the orange chakra. Excuse me, my neck is killing me. It's the feeling chakra, right? It's the chakra of feeling. How it's going to affect is that this world is warming. You see this, right? The ball is warming. The earth is heating at a fast rate. And because it's heating at a fast rate, we're not even paying attention. We're not even looking at the heat. We're ignoring it. That's what we're doing. That's the problem. That's what's causing all this, right? We have indecision in the past, right? Indecision, unsure where to go because both of them, each sign says unknown. You don't know the outcome, but you know you can't go forward. You have to make a choice, right? It's in number 8, right? Indecision. People are not going to know where they need to go, what's the right thing to do because they don't know what's going to happen. And I feel like this relates to a natural disaster. When a natural disaster comes like a tornado and it's coming towards your house, what do? Do you like jump in the car and drive? Do you stay in your home and hope for the best? Like, it's just so many decisions. I feel like people are going to be lost, right? And that's not my opinion. I'm just going back. My opinion gets formed by whatever the tarot card said, right? The card comes after this. It's a reverse angel of strength, right? 50. It's reverse. So around this time when this happened, we're going to have the 50th president. So right now we have Biden. We have 46, right? We have about 4 presidents next. Kamala's the easiest one to go with. And then we have 3 more that come after, right? That means that each one, if there was a possibility, by 2030, we can have to have, if there's about how many presidential elections do we have? So just say, for example, because we have 2024, right? So 2024, then we have 2028, every 4 years, right? Then we have 2032. All right. Yeah, 2032, then 2036, right? 4 years. So each one, just say Biden dropped out. We have Kamala, then we have another president. Kamala loses. We have a Republican in 2028. Then we have a Democrat, right? Then we have another Republican. If that's the possibility for us to have 4 presidents, at least 50. Right? I have always said for the longest time, way before I started my channel, that when the United States hit 50 states or 50 presidents, it's done. Like the United States, as we know, has to change. It has to change because it reached that 50 point. Right? 50 is a very important number in the United States. And so we have here the angel of love, right? And that's reverse. And the reason why this is very important is that a lot of what we're going through today is all about the energy. Our energy is changing and it's experiencing, right? a lot of what we're going through right now is we need to be able to call upon our healers, to be able to call upon our strength and our love, to be able to bring them in and to be able to channel that so that we can be able to bring the best thing out, so that we can be able to help the people that need to be helped. We also need to do that for ourselves because that's reverse. That's the energy going into what is happening, right? Interesting. Thank you for adding that. Okay, anyway, let's talk about nature. I think that's a very important thing to talk about. Let's just kind of get like a little few pointers and kind of see any last minute things that we need to talk about today as well. So Spirit Angel, please tell me, what is it that we need to know about the moon wobbling? Any added information that you would like to add in today? Spirit guys, you can come in as well if you would like to add in any extra information. Okay, so we have a challenge here, and I can't believe I just folded this one. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups sideways. That's the challenge. With the Knight of Cups, it's not going to happen under Biden, so Biden's fine. But in terms of that, they're talking about like massive effects and the final outcome card. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, added information, is that we have the Five of Cups sideways. A lot of people fear the unknown, but a lot of what they fear is just fear-based block that they've been told by the media. If you stop listening to the media and everything that's going on, you won't be in a state of fear, and therefore you won't be feeding it, right? We have here in the passage, we have the Knight of Cups coming through, messages, warning coming through. The messages are coming possibly soon, right? This is in the past, right? This is what I said. This is something I said in my channel before, that the message was on our channel, in that video, but it was from other people as well. Whatever comes to your mind when I said that, that's your warning. That was your warning, right? We have here in the centers, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of Swords sideways. And what this is telling me is that a lot of you guys are very upset about what is happening in the world. A lot of things are going crazy, and there's a lot of that happening. And the reason why a lot of that is happening is because we're starting to transform again. We're starting to change and go into the 5D. The 5D is a change in consciousness. Now, we're going to be talking about that in another video. I want to channel it and ask my guys specifically because I'm not sure. In order for us to extend, do we have to die on this planet to extend? Like, I don't know how that works. So I would have to ask them. And is it like a consciousness? Is it a change of perception? Is it like a change in physical body, physical form? You know, stuff like that as well. And in the right card here is we have the Hierophant in reverse. And that is the right side. This is the side on the right. And that is reversed. And why that is very important. Because it talks to me that around this time, you cannot depend on your government to help you. The government is not going to help you in a time of crisis or need. Because the government never knew specifically how to help you. And therefore, it will not be able or will be well equipped to be able to help the people that it's supposed to help. Right? Even though it made a promise to the people that is there to help you in times of need. What I'm seeing here, that when this thing happens, whenever it does, government may not be able to help you, but science can, right? And the card that comes after that is you cannot depend on other nations. No matter where you go around the world, things will be drastically affecting you. No matter where you go in the world, things will be changing, right? And we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. 8 of Swords, right? You're feeling stuck. You feel like you cannot look or hide. Just because, you know, people are saying this, just because on the West Coast right now it's really hot and there's barely any water, does not mean you should turn a blind eye to what is happening. Because you see this water here? All that water is just receding. And you want to know what happened when water recedes? And it becomes too much, it throws it right back, and that's a tsunami, right? Just because things don't appear the way they are at the moment doesn't mean they can't be. Okay? And at the bottom of the card here is we have the High Priestess, right? And actually, I think this said Torah, by the way. So we have BJ, right? the High Priestess card. This is all happening because we're about to extend. We need to extend. You see this ball of energy right here? The ball of energy is coming, and that ball of energy has to manifest in natural disaster form. And now I was telling my friend this because she foresaw a lot of natural disasters, including the shift and the wobbling of the Earth angle, I guess is the best way to put it. And I told her that what I got was that when this thing happens, when it does, the solar flares are supposed to have a combustion of energy to hit the electromagnetic field of Earth, and it will electrically charge it. And with that energy what extends us. The more energy there is on Earth, the more we are able to extend to the higher realms. Right? Same thing with earthquakes. The more earthquakes start to break, it brings up energy, pent up energy that was building up and throws into Earth, which is why we're extending or evolutionizing into the next level. Right? So that is the process of how all that works. Another tarot reader said the same thing. This week, send love and light to others to bring about extension. Yes, 100%. That is correct. So that we can extend together as many as possible. Now, everybody has their own phases. Everyone has their own path. So don't force somebody into spirituality. Don't force anybody into it. Let them do their own journey. Some people are not meant to extend in this lifetime, and we have to honor that. Right? Because if you force them, you are actually doing very karmic energy to you, and you may actually not extend on your own. Like you see, for me, I'm teaching you guys about what it is that I know and what I'm receiving, but I'm not forcing you to watch my videos. I'm just suggesting. You see the difference? You can suggest it, you can offer them and tell them you want to help them, but you cannot force them to watch it, right? Hi, Miss Bessie. Love you. Exactly. All right, so before we end today's video, I want to quickly give you a couple angel numbers so you guys can leave off on the right note. Okay, so let's see. What angel numbers, spirits, and angels do you have for my guys, my viewers today? What angel numbers do you have? This is a timeless angel number. Okay, so we have here is we have 6, 7, 8, wait, no, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, so that's the number 11. 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. So if you're looking up, if you've been seeing 777 or 111111, that is the message for you today. And your message is going to be this. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to give you a message right now. Oh, it just came out. What if it was easy? That's your message, right? What if it was easy? Ask yourself this question right now. What if it was easy? It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard. Call the universe, the stars, the angels, and their powers. Find a solution. Would you take the next step if it was easy? It's time to expect ease and call in grace and receive guidance. You are indeed supported. Today's soul action lists 10 possible ideals for your soul current calling, leaning to ease, is here. You would just have to say yes to it. A lot of what you're experiencing now, in order to receive the highest form of good, is you need to be able to be in that state of mind and consciousness that you need to be able to understand. And I'm talking about this in another video, and I explained to a client of mine, her name was Patty, that when things stay in motion, they stay in motion, and when things stay in rest, they stay at rest. Same thing with manifestation. If you want to change the current situation, you need to change the state in which you are currently in. Right? That was the same thing Einstein said as well. So very important, very interesting, resonates really well, and that is exactly how manifestation works. So anyway, I love you guys. I hope you have a very beautiful night, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.